Ha ha! Hello again. Hello again. Here we go. Right, you're dead. So I think we finally made it online and working with internet and stuff. I'm chasing this chat around the corner here. Yeah. Yeah. So all those questions, I can see the chat now, so it's all good. So yes, hello everybody, how you all doing? Lovely to see you all here. Feel free to join us for a bit of Castle Wars stuff going on. Not Castle Wars at all, are we? We're in the fight pits. Oh, this chap's running away in a rather annoying way. So let's just deal with him, shan't we? Yes, right, so we'll eventually we'll deal with him. There we go. Right, so yes, come and join us. We'll do a bit of fight pits on World 350. You know how it all works by now. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I hope you can all hear me all right. Let me know if you can't. Yeah, it never says to check my Twitter. Hey noobs, you're coming. I got the red crown, yes I do. I'm gonna bonk you on the noggin with my AGS, yes I am. Pulse 16 went live earlier today, which is pretty cool. Some good questions in there. Lots of little quality of life things we've done this week. The main focus of what we're working on at the moment is the wilderness, because obviously the wilderness update is happening. So awful lot of update has to go into that, or awful lot of time has to go into that, and we shall. But we've done a few little bits and bobs that we can do. We've pulled them out there. Dog's fast asleep on the sofa. For those who want to know what's happening to Gracie, she's worn out from a busy day of stuff. Make a poll to remove the polls. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, not entirely sure how that would work. But there we go. So any questions, anything you don't understand about the polls, anything you want clarification on, feel free to deal with that. Item switching I am seeing here from Black Seat. He's asking, when's item switching going to get fixed? That is not a straightforward, simple thing to fix. We've made it better with some of the engine changes we've had, but it's obviously got a fair way to go yet. It's still not ideal. We don't know what the problems are. We're still investigating how that's happening and why that's happening. So keep your eye on that. We will, obviously, it is one of our priorities to look at, but we don't know quite what the problem is with it yet, so we don't know how to fix it. But we shall keep working on it. Will you nerf NMZ if it's under 75%? We're not going to go against what the poll says. That's clearly would be the wrong thing to do. Oh, sorry, am I bullying you, Sweat? Yeah. Come on in. Get back here. So you get yourself poisoned. There we go. Another one bites the dust. So yeah, we won't go against what the poll is saying, because that clearly wouldn't be the right thing to do. However, we will obviously look at why it didn't pass, as we do with every update that we bring out. We look at why updates don't pass, and if you've got better ideas of how to deal with the XP in NMZ, then feel free to let us know if you've got other ideas. We didn't get a huge amount of differing ideas come through when we were 42. That's not bad, is it? Well done, Immemorial. Yeah, we didn't get a huge amount of different ideas come through when we first asked what we should do about it. So that's why we went with those questions. But we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. Can I make Boaty mod? Oh no, I can't make anybody mod. Not me. But Boaty is a great guy. Quite like watching his streams. He's quite entertaining in his videos as well. I do enjoy him. He is very cool. Defo. Well, I seem to be in a chat channel. I have no idea whose chat channel I'm in. What chat channel am I in? FPF Fight Pits. Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be. Yeah, see, I know I did it for a reason. To get here easy, obviously you can use the teleport through the... I'll be here all day at this rate. Teleport through here, which is a fantastic little thing. A group finder is expanding all the time as well, so we've got Dagonoth King, God Wars going in there, and Black Arm Phoenix Gang members if you're looking for people. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. A question from a chap here whose name I'm not going to say out loud. When GE is coming back, can you answer please? I think, well, we need to do a solution for the trade. What that solution is depends on what you guys want. We have the wilderness stuff to get all sorted out first, which will be happening on... we've got a few weeks for that to come out. Once that's out, we'll look at what the next big project is, I think. And I think the next big project will probably be looking at what the solutions are for trade. So we're looking at a number of weeks for that. So we'll probably start talking about it maybe middle of March, end of March sort of time. And then we will see what we want to do from there. We certainly want something in place by within the next by June, certainly. We sort of aim to get it in the first 6 months. Stop making the game easier, says Boss Better. Some things are getting easier, but obviously everything has to be polled. So it's what the community wants, really. Which brings us nicely onto the question about why we are polling the questions about Nightmare Zone. I know there's a fair few of you have said just do it, don't poll it. Hello Chris, you're always around whenever I'm trying to kill people, aren't you? Yes, why did we poll it? Why didn't we just do it? It's because when we first started talking to you guys about it, there wasn't a unanimous let's sort it out and do one thing with it. We had lots of different ideas. Some people wanted it, some people didn't, and we just couldn't, in all fairness. Yes, bye Sir Ace, come back. I'm not using prayers, that's not going to help you. Gangster King. Yeah, so because there wasn't sort of a unified this is the way it should be, we couldn't really sort of qualify just doing it. So we thought, you know, if there's a divided opinion within the community, we ought to put the solutions to the poll and you guys can have your say and leave you in control. Because the worst thing from our point of view is if we make a change, a lot of you don't want the change, we forced it upon you, then we start questioning the whole idea of who's running the game and who's deciding where we go with the game. And that isn't... It's probably the worst thing that can happen, so that's why we left it up to you guys to decide. The green monkeys in 8 Patrol Dungeons seem to walk like crabs. Just a bug you thought I should know about. I will have a chat with John tomorrow about that. They walk like crabs, fair enough. Yeah, there's a good thing here from XXPOKOLOKO, whatever, saying just do it because people will always vote for the easier option. The fact that they're actually voting for it, or not voting for it to go through, makes me think we've done the right thing by polling it and doing what you guys want. Because in the end, if there are differing opinions, we need to find a way to find out what those opinions are, and that's how the poll system works. Now, a great idea, I just saw one up here, we go. Mazzara. Modmat, I got an idea for an alternative GE, just make chat filter for buy-sell. Now that is one of the things that we have thought about, we've spoken about it in the past as well, it's just having a chat channel for trading. You guys can go in there and trade till the cows come home. We'll probably need several chat channels to be fair, because you guys like to trade a lot. And what we could also do with, we need to get obviously some engine changes and what have you, but allow you to search for specific phrases or specific words within the chat channel so you can identify people more easily. If that's a solution that you guys wanted, then that's something we could certainly do. But I think the time to talk about that is a few weeks away, yes, and we will have a good in-depth discussion of what's possible, what's not possible, what's likely to happen, what's not likely to happen, all that sort of gubbins. Blimey, we've got enough of these bosses coming up. Bosses, these little thingy things. Yes, so there we go. What's the latest word on the filter option for the game? Now, I believe that Mod Philip was working on that. So yes, there we go. And someone has just asked, yeah, Mod Philip's working on that because it's a game engine change. We will obviously poll anything first, but we know you want a game filters. But Ash will probably be the best person to ask tomorrow because he'll have a bit more insight onto it. But effectively, once we got the tools, we have to then decide how we identify what a spam message is. We'll take it from there. Come on, nearly dead, guys. 23 hit points left. Not bad going. When are you bringing EOC to 2007? Lol, very funny. Shane UK. If we get a toggle option for the old prayer interface from 2006. We talked a little while ago about making the interfaces. We don't have the artist to be able to do it, and we can't reuse the old ones because we need to get more buttons into a different interface. Because obviously there's a few extra buttons, as you can see. Where are we? Somewhere around here. Yes, there's this extra button down here, and I think another one in there somewhere. Which aren't in the 2006 interfaces, so we need to remake the interface itself, and then take it from there, really. But we have talked about it, and if we can offer different skins, that's certainly something that would be quite cool. How important it is to the community as a whole is the next question. So yes, Mad Mork, can't imagine what your name's a play on. Can you bring Bonds into 07? And surprisingly enough, we've been hearing quite a bit about Bonds in 07. I suppose the question is, do you guys really want Bonds? Or do you want... and what would you want to spend the Bonds on? For example, we don't have microtransactions in game, so there's nothing to spend... there's no items to buy, you can't get your rune coins and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to hit big, I am. I know I am. It'll be forever at this rate. 6. That's rubbish. It probably wasn't even me. 32. So it all depends what you want, really, when it comes to Bonds. I mean, I see a huge value for you being able to get use your gold to pay for membership to continue playing Old School. I think what we've seen is a lot of people do use Bonds in RS3 to buy membership to play Old School. The problem is that you run out of money in RS3, and then you can't buy any more Bonds. And I think we've had a fair few people suffer from that, which is not ideal by any means. Look at that. Gotta hit something big eventually. I do. Come on. Three hit points left. $29. Can we do better than that? Must have some mad skills. There you go. Look. But yeah, so what do you guys want Bonds? I mean, can you think of anything else to play with Bonds with? I mean, one idea that sort of crossed my mind is if we had the ability for you guys to create your own models in game, then you could use some sort of point system based around Bonds to upload them into game and sell them through the game. But I mean, that's very much a pipe dream at the moment. But yeah, that's the sort of thing we can think about. Birthday events started soon. Birthday events are starting next week, which will be quite exciting. Some fun things for you to do. We've deliberately been very quiet about it because we can't be secretive about very much, and it's quite fun to be secretive at times and surprise you. So that'll be quite cool. We'll see what happens. I think there's some great stuff you're going to be able to get involved with. Come on, nearly there. Nearly there. 1 hit point left. Just 1 hit point. Just 1 hit point. That's all it needs. Just 1 hit point. You could do it. You could do it. Those zeros, yeah. Oh, I think I'm dead. Hurrah! Hurrah! I have a pile of tockle as my reward, which is probably sitting on the floor right now. Are you considering achievement diaries? I'd love to do achievement diaries. I think we'd all like to do achievement diaries. I think a lot of you would like to see achievement diaries. I think that's one thing we certainly need to look at in the not too distant future. So one thing we want to do about achievement diaries as well is to do them all at once. So instead of bringing out one here, there and everywhere, we'll bring out the entire lot at once, and then we'll do everywhere. So we'll not just have Lumbridge and Karamja and Varrock and what have you. We'll have one for Ape Atoll, for example, have one for the Wilderness, have even a God Wars achievement diary. You know, we could do achievement diaries for any area that you want, and it'll be a great fun project to get all the sort of things you'd like to see in it, and you guys can sort of send in all the ideas that you have for what would be in each achievement diary, and we can sort of pick and choose and then stick them all out there to vote, so you guys can say yes, we want these achievement diaries. So that'll be quite cool. Tormented Demons by Sir Chaz. Yes, no, absolutely right. A lot of people have been asking for Tormented Demons. I know a lot of people have been asking for Dragon Claws as well, but a lot of people enjoyed Tormented Demons for what they were. Yeah, so we would love to do that sort of thing as well, but it all depends on what's a priority for you guys and what's important. Yeah, don't you think, here we go, question by True Loss, don't you think taking away the 30-second wait for login when hopping worlds will give an advantage in this, that and the other? You see, when that change was made to RS3 last week, or was it the week before? I'm going to take that level 8. Is that a bit mean of me? I think it probably is, to be fair. Where's he gone? He's run away. Oh, I want to kill that level 8. There he is. Attack. Bop. Oh. I'm a sod, aren't I? There we go. There's loads of people around. That's fantastic. Let's all get a good bit of tockle doing this. Yeah, so the 30-second log out, it happened as last week or the week before to RS3, and we had the opportunity to make it happen at the same time, and you know, it would literally have gone into game for because it was going to affect every server rather than just RS3 servers. But we sort of said, if it's possible, please don't make it work, because we have to poll it first. So Mod Philip went and did his magic. Mod Philip, for those who don't know, I can't remember his actual title, but he's head of technology maybe, but he sorts out all the technology stuff, all the sort of servers and all that sort of stuff, and all the game engine. And he put an update in there to who's this? This is UDP Alu X. Hello, I'm attacking you. I am attacking you. Look, you can see I'm attacking you because I'm doing my special magic thingy majiggy thing. So he made it so it didn't work on Old School, and because we've got the ability to do it, we thought we'd better poll you pretty quickly, which is why we've polled it to you. The actual impact that we could see it having, it may make a few things a little bit easier perhaps, or a little bit quicker. For example, some people brought up Rune rock mining. It might make it quicker. I don't think you'll see a huge benefit from it, because most of the time when you're rune rock mining, you are waiting for rocks to spawn, or avoiding PKs trying to kill you. So I don't think it's going to make it hugely different. Hello Watson Tanek. How you doing? Did you ask for Clan Wars? I think he asked for Clan Wars. I'm sure we will poll Clan Wars in the not too distant future. We're getting an awful lot of support from the engine team right now, and a lot of the chat functionality we need to make things like Clan Wars and loot share is all being sort of looked at quite seriously now. So hopefully we can get all that lot in the not too distant future, and then we can start polling some of these big things to use, such as Clan Wars and the loot share and all the other bits and bobs, because we'll be in a position to be able to do them. Pixel Pirate says, Matt, could you add my shop and add your items into your own shop so people would just right click to view your shop? That is again another possible solution for the trading issues that you guys are facing. Have your own shop. There's a game I used to play. It's I'm trying to remember what it's called now. It was called Void Century initially. Then it was published by somebody else. It was called Bounty Bay. And anyway, it was a pirate game, and you went around, fought on ships, fought on land, leveled your skills, and did all that sort of stuff. Really fun game. Only problem with it is during your sort of quest progression throughout it, you came to this really high level quest halfway through, which you couldn't complete on your own. There weren't enough players to actually get a group together to actually go and do it. So it was a bit of a shame. But anyway, what they had is they had a trading system where you would stand in a port and you would create a market stall. The market stall would be in front of you, and somebody would click on it and it would show everything on the market stall. It all looked very nice and pretty, and you know, that's another possible solution that we could look at. So solutions are basically just some of that, otherwise I'll be dead in no time at all. We can't have that. So the solutions is bound only by what your imagination is, really, because you guys are going to come up with the solutions, not me. Will the hand cannon ever be introduced into Old School? If you guys really want the hand cannon, we'll put the hand cannon in. However, this is the first time I've ever seen anyone asked for it. I don't think it's very important. Okay, what else have we got? Can you bring back another server between EO7 and EO7? 07 and EOC. From what I understand, this is the latest server build we could bring back that was full enough to actually make it a viable option, which is why we've got this one. I'll try to think of the questions. We get a lot of questions coming in very quickly. This isn't normal. Would it be possible to bring in graphics, to update the graphics? To update the graphics, we need to make the graphics, and as a lot of you will probably realise, we don't have a graphics artist, which creates a problem for us, insofar that without a graphics artist it's quite difficult for us to make all the graphics we need. Now, last time we did resizable mode and updated all the graphics, it took what is it, 100 developers 12 months to do it, so that's about 100 years of development time, and we've also only got 2 developers. So if it were ever to happen, we would need an awful lot of extra manpower to do it, and I'll be honest with you, but I can't see that happening at all, I'm afraid. So sorry. Add a Mexico world for the Spanish speakers. At the moment there's no plans to add extra worlds. What we are sort of we've had a few requests for Australian worlds as well, which, you know, I think will probably be more of a priority than Mexico. I think that's where more of our players are from Australia, but I don't think there are any plans to put any new worlds out at the moment. As for, if you mentioned Spanish speakers, if you want it in Spanish, we don't have a translated version of the game, and that's unlikely to get a translated version of the game, because we would have to start from scratch and retranslate the entire game, and that's not a small tiny job. So yeah, it's unlikely to happen. That is, I'm afraid. Am I using the rotter potato? I'm not using rotter potato, no. I've got one. There it is, sitting there. Just in case I need it. That would be a bit boring. What I have, the reason why I'm not dying straight away while not paying attention to what I'm doing, is when we first started doing PvP, which was Halloween Mask, when we first dropped those many moons ago now, that was back in June last year, was it? We wanted to do a wilderness event because it was, you know, Halloween, it was killing people, that sort of thing. So the idea was that I would spawn in the wilderness, people would kill me, Halloween masks go everywhere. The problem we foresaw is if I was standing in a multi-area and 16 people attacked me, I'd be dead in about 3 seconds. So it'd be very boring for anybody trying to get involved in the event. So we nerfed the damage coming in on me a bit, and it's been like this ever since. The way it works is that when it calculates the damage, it will work out whether you've damaged me or not. If you damaged me, it then nerfs it so only 1 in 50 damages, 1 in 50 hits get through. So even if it says on me that you've hit 20, 30, 40, whatever, only one of those will get through, and the one that does get through gets nerfed to 1 hit point. So yeah, it takes a while. Now I have asked Dan Modreach to give me another option so that I can be killed normally, which I think will be quite fun for some PvP worlds. So hopefully that will go in soon, and I will be doing some PvP world stuff in the not too distant future as a normal player type thing, and I shall try and gank as many people as possible. That should be entertaining. You talk about fairness. How is it fair for the people who want the nerf? 56 oppose NMZ. The changes we made, it's always been the same way. The changes we made is, you know, to make a change to the game, you've got to have 75% agreement. That's the agreement we came to with the community at the very start of the game. We've had several arguments along the same lines of, well, more than 50%, therefore you should do it. We don't agree. We think that the only changes that should be made are if the super majority agree to it. That way we can keep the game as true to Clockwork Cat, as true to what it should be. It does get a bit interesting in situations like this, but I think the right thing to do was to get the community consensus on how we should do it. Oh, Dota player, no, it was not from Dota. So what's your name? I can't read your name because it's in bright green. Mechanism G. He says, "Gank, I see a Dota 2 player." Well, actually, no, I think I logged into Dota 2 once. Not my cup of tea. I use it because I used to play Anarchy Online. Again, long time ago, and it was a phrase that was used all the time in Anarchy Online. That was good fun. That was. Didn't have a huge PvP community. The game didn't, but it was good. It's a good fun game. Bit outdated now, but it's still going, which is, you know, fantastic. The game's been around probably as long as RuneScape, not far off, certainly. Now we're all running in a line. Run! Dunk. Degradable PvP armor into 07. I think there is certainly a demand for that in game. The big question we have is how do we get it into game without breaking, without making it sort of farmable. Because it makes sense to us that PvP armor you should get from PvP. Any other sort of mechanism of getting it into game doesn't seem quite right. If you get it from monster drops, that doesn't seem quite fair. Oh, that seems to be dead. Oh, fancy that. The mechanism of getting into games is quite tricky, because we then have to think, okay, if it's going to be PvP, we've got 2 people who are going to be killing each other, maybe they get points. If they get points, they take these points to a shop and buy stuff with it. We then have the problem of Matey and his ult walk into a quiet part of the wilderness, quiet part of the PvP world, whatever, and just wail on each other, so one of them gets lots of points, which we then have to figure out how we can stop that, and that's not an easy thing to solve. So yeah, it's a challenge, but I mean, again, I'm sure you guys have got the answers, so you do let us know what you think you should be doing. I also saw somebody mention, I didn't see your name, I'm sorry, but somebody mentioned caps for defense levels, so pures don't get accidental defense levels. Something we've heard a few times. I don't think it's a huge priority to do that. I mean, I do want to. I would love to do some stuff purely for pures. So things such as pure armor. So you have to have a. It has a. Excuse me. It has a maximum defense level. So if you're above level 10, you can't equip this piece of armor and that sort of thing. Which I think would be quite cool. However, history has told us that anything to help pures out sort of doesn't really pass a poll, so we've got to be very wary of that. And so I don't think the solution is very straightforward for that, but I'd certainly like to do a lot for pures, because I know there's a lot of pures out there, and they're a pretty cool community. But there is, no denying it, there is a definite anti-pure movement out there as well, who will do everything they can to make sure you don't get anything. So it's a challenge that we have to overcome, I feel, as a community. What else we've got going on? New poll for new hotkeys. Yeah. Now my thinking is, that's a clever bit of singing, whoever that was. Yeah. So new hotkeys. We polled it 3-4 months ago, perhaps now. Changing the F keys to what they are in RS3. That didn't pass a poll. I think maybe sort of looking back, perhaps we should have been a bit bigger with it and said, we'll allow you to choose your own hotkeys, so you can keybind anything that you want to, or give you a selection. I'm sure there's a way around it, but that might be the better option to do that. We shall have to wait and see. Is Mitch okay? I don't know who Mitch is. I'm sorry, Evil Spike. I'm sure he's fine, whoever he is. Any word on free to play? Nothing that we haven't said 100 times before about free to play, I'm afraid. We will happily. We're waiting for the bot system to get sorted out, because obviously we need to get rid of bots first. We need to get rid of sort out the hijacking issues, scamming, all that sort of stuff, before we can really start looking at free to play. But we're still working on those, and we will talk about free to play should we get to that going on. I think we've got Redemption in the house by the look of things. Hello Redemption, lovely to see you here. I will hunt you down one by one in there and kill you all using nothing but a blunt spoon. There we go. Will the Ring of Wealth ever give better Barrow's loot? Well, we can make the Ring of Wealth do pretty much whatever you like. So you just got to tell us what you want it to do, really, and if we can come up with sort of a good way of doing it, which isn't going to be overpowered. Right, it's fine. Where's the champion? We have to kill the champion. Champion on the horse. Krakens, please. Where are you? Where are you? He's hiding, so you know I'm looking for him. Not like everybody else is trying to kill me at the moment. Yeah. Well, I get used to it. Let's take you down. Whoever you are, I'm going to hit you with my big thing. Bump, 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 bump. Oh, I should be holding the right weapon. There we go. Fight kiln, please. Why do you want the fight kiln? That is the question. It'd be awesome to put penguin points into 07. I mean, that's all stuff we can do. We could put penguin points in, or a way of doing it if you really want it. I'm not entirely sure how much the community would like penguin points. It's something that hasn't really come up, so it'd be interesting to see what people think about penguin points. I know some of you found them useful. I'm sure that if we were to do it, some people would claim that it's probably a bit easy for the game, and you're getting XP without actually doing the task. But again, you let us know what you want. That's what it boils down to. Can mages get good non-degradable armour? You get a new shield. You're getting a mage shield, aren't you? That'll be cool. The wilderness update. But it's not a case about making the armours, it's more a case of, you know, how do we get them into game? I mean, we can make armours, we can sort of play around, recolour a few bits and bobs. Hello, Cesar Hero, lovely to see you here. What else we got? Will Old School RuneScape birthday event be available to level 3 skillers? Yes, it will. We've deliberately done it so that any of you can get involved. That is not a problem at all. Oh, look at that, zeros, that's rubbish. Whose idea was that, to hit zeros? Wasted. Okay, what we were talking about, something interesting, I'm sure. Bonk. Yes, that was it, the birthday stuff, yeah. Quite enjoy being quite secretive about that, we don't get to do it enough. So it's one of the things we miss out, because obviously we're incredibly open about everything that we're doing. You know, we like to surprise you and do some cool stuff you don't know about, so we're keeping very quiet about that. It's going to be rather fun. Will you be streaming for the Game Blast event? I will be there for the Game Blast event, yes. I don't know whether I'll be individually streaming myself, but there'll be plenty of other people around. I'm sort of working with Paul M at the moment to make sure all the streaming stuff works. So if it all falls over and breaks, it's my fault, but I will blame somebody else. But yeah, it's all proceeding rather nicely at the moment. It's doing cool. Any ideas on a new skill? Well, you know, everybody thinks we're joking, but I would love to put sailing into game. I think you can have a huge amount of fun with sailing. Obviously, you could build a boat, and you can have sort of tighten with the construction skill from that side of things, which will be quite cool. Who's that? Oh man, Luton Pure. You didn't last very long, did you? Salad. There we go. So yeah, I'll tie nicely into construction skill, wood cutting skill. If you have new wood to make boats with, I don't know what boats are made out of, what type of wood boats are made out of, but I imagine we can use it as an excuse to get some different wood in. What else? We could do some adventuring, couldn't you? So you would sail around looking for new areas that haven't been discovered and treasures that haven't been discovered, which would be quite cool. You could obviously do PvP on your boat, so you could rock up to another boat, shoot some cannons at it, and if need be, board the other boat and do a bit of PvP on the deck of the boat, which would be quite cool. Obviously, we could have big sea monsters you could attack as well. Excuse me. So there is lots of possibilities for a sailing skill, which I think will be really quite cool. I know that we've joked about it for years and years and years, but yeah, I can see lots of good possibilities with stuff we could do with the sailing skill. Man, me and my zeros. Drink my potions. Hit him with my potion. Oh, he's going to kill me now. Yes, he is. Let's hit you instead. Yes, you're the one who's just cast vengeance. That ain't going to work on me. Cast vengeance, take away clothes off, hope to kill me. Never gonna happen, 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 never gonna happen. Oh dear, I haven't got my helmet on. That's a bit embarrassing. Papaya Pete. Please. Right, so where are we? Blue scrolling bird's nest. Yeah, that's quite a cool idea. I quite like the sound of that. Is there any way to make fire making more useful? It's literally pointless. I don't think too many people are going to argue with you there. I think the best thing you can do though is tell us how you would like to make it useful, because that's sort of really much more valuable to us than telling us that it's broken, because we already know that. But if you can come up with ways to make it useful, then we're all ears. You know, we see actually John mentions quite often how we should do something with fire making after he's asked us to delete mining, of course. But we shall see. We shall see. You come up with some ideas, guys, and we'll happily look at them. In fact, we've got another player design content competition coming out. I think we're going to be talking about it next week. So once we have sort of the final sort of scope of what it's going to incorporate, then it may well fit into that. So get your thinking caps on, definitely. Can you please make it where it doesn't stop you from your activity when you level up? I think that's quite deliberate actually, so people can get their level up messages. If I remember rightly, let me have a word with Ash about that. I think that was the reason why we did it, or why it was done, or why it was like that. So I think we deliberately gone and done it, but I think that might be the reason. So if you carry on with it, you miss your level up messages. It can upset people because a lot of people like to keep their level up messages. Add evil trees. Oh, that's distractions and diversions. We had a few ideas about that for some update that we wanted to do ages ago, and a lot of the feedback we got was that you didn't like the distractions and diversions type of thing. In fact, I think it was for the agility course actually. Yeah, we put an idea across with the agility course where once a week you could go and do something special and it would give you a boost of agility XP. Which, you know, the feedback for that was, sounds like distractions and diversions, we're not overly excited about that, please don't do it. That was the answer effectively, which is why we haven't sort of gone down that route, because you were quite strong on that sort of feedback from there. What else we got going on? Anything else? Green skin. Yes, I think everybody ought to have green skin. Don't know why. That's just the way it is. I'm dead again. Which is no surprise. So anyway, to get bank tabs, yes, I think we've got a few issues with some of the engine stuff that needs to happen, but we know you want bank tabs, and it is something we're working on. We've also got one here which says, Mod Matt, a lot of well-known streamers share their accounts on their stream. I mean, you know, account sharing is against the rules, and you know the support that we sort of offer for anybody is, you know, the reason it's against the rules. You share your account, it'll end up getting stolen. I've seen it 100 million times, you know. And you know, should people share their account, and should they get stolen, then you can contact us. We will get them back to the right person. That's the sort of support we offer with that. The streamers, they know the rules, they know the risks they're taking, and you know, we're here to help them should that happen, and help anybody should they lose their accounts in that way. Yeah, that is the deal with that. Do you think you'll ever consider adding EP system to PvP worlds? We certainly can consider it. I think you know, we've thought about it a lot, and we think it's actually a pretty bad idea. Mainly because the EP system was used to inject cash into, well, it was used to get cash easily, because obviously people would go out there, get the earning potential, and then kill each other to generate loot into the game, and that obviously created a huge amount of gold into the game, and that's not a good thing to happen. So that's the reason why we are very much against it. But however, if the entire community turned around and said, no, we need EP and we need it like yesterday, then we would go, all right, we're wrong, you guys are right, we'll do that. But I think that is very unlikely to happen. Apparently you've got to join the RDCC. Is it actually called RDCC? Should we have a look? You've just joined RDCC. There it is, look at that. Hello RDers. Let's say hello to you. Hello RDers. How you all hanging in that hood, mat homies? In it. I could be down with the kids. I can. Oh dear. Can you guys bring back dungeoneering? You say that. We have a great idea of something we want to do. No plans for when, if, or anything else. But we have a great idea for a dungeoneering type thing. Now, a lot of people don't want dungeoneering actually added to Old School. But the mechanic or the idea of going into a dungeon, using your skills to defeat a big boss monster with a group of people, that is a pretty strong concept, and it's something that I think we could use really well. But if we wanted to do it, we would want to do it on a much bigger scale. For example, we would want, instead of you inviting 5 friends in to come and join you, we would like you to be able to invite 100 friends in to come and join you, and for the bosses to scale up depending on how many people are in the dungeon with you, and you can all go and use your skills to overcome the bosses. And I see several demi bosses or mini bosses on the way to the big bosses, so several boss fights throughout the dungeon. A big long sprawling dungeon. Imagine doing that with 100 friends. That would be absolutely amazing. Get your clan together to do massive dungeon raids, each one being different because they're individually generated. And that sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah, I would like to see that in game, and I know Ash would like to develop something, because it's a big challenge to do it. And if you guys wanted that, then someone was asking how my day was. Well, my day was very good because I didn't actually go into work today. I had a few things I had to do outside of work, so I took the day off. It's a holiday, and this morning I put a new lock on my front door, which I'm very proud of, because I had to get my chisel and hammer out and my drill, and I felt very manly and full of testosterone as I used power tools to do this, so I felt quite good about that. Fixed the gates, went to my children's school to do a few bits there, went shopping, made dinner, we had steak pie, which was yummy. Watched the football. I only watched the first half of the football because I've had to do this for the second half. I don't know what the score is. Anybody know what Liverpool against Fulham are? It was 1-1 when I left it at half time. Let me see if I can get the score. Because obviously you are all big Liverpool fans. I did Tesco's order as well today. That's my day. 3-2 to Liverpool. Oh, there we go. That sounded like a good match. I wonder if match the day's on later. Oh, check this out. A penalty in the 90th minute. Yeah. That's a relief. Anyway. Yeah, so here we go. We're fighting again. Woohoo! Oh dear. Somebody in their box traps. That's what you think? That's what you think is good to do, is it? Is it really? Liverpool sucks. No, they don't. Liverpool are the best team ever. I've been a Liverpool supporter since I was 10 years old, which is getting on for 30 years ago now. He says under his breath, we're getting old, yeah, getting old. There we go. If Nightmare Zone doesn't pass, what do you plan on doing about rune crafting and devaluation? Well, the first thing I suppose you have to look at is actually devaluing it, which we believe it is. but we shall take it from there. And again, your guys, if you've got ideas for how you want to add stuff to runecrafting to make it a bit more interesting, then a bit more valuable, then you let us know what your ideas are. I think it's great if these ideas come from you, because it really creates a community sort of inspired and created game. So you let us know what your solutions are. Because in the end, I'd much rather put something in game that came from you guys rather than something that came from us. Poll for the Bounty Hunter crater. Now we do want to use Bounty Hunter mechanics. We don't want to do a crater because we just got data rejuvenating the wilderness now, and we don't want to suddenly rip out all of that and put 3 massive craters across the wilderness. However, we do want to use that mechanic, and I know that Dan has lots of ideas for how he wants to use that, and again, ask him in the stream tomorrow, and we will bless him. Good old Get Torn. I answered your question for you, so it should be a little bit happier. But yeah, so we will ask Dan tomorrow in the stream tomorrow, which is at 5 PM, and I'm sure he will go into all the detail he can about the ideas and the things he wants to do. And if you saw his tweet today about the bear, you got to tell him that's not a bear. Since when did a bear have wings, look like an overgrown mole, and have hooves? I mean, that's not what a bear is. I did ask Dan if he wanted me to take him to a zoo so I could show him what a bear looked like. But he thought I was being somewhat facetious, which to be fair I was, so there we go. Excuse me. Ah dear. Have you got a wife? Yeah, I do have a wife, yes.
What's that?
Or rather, a wife has me.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm her property. She wears the trousers. How much do you make work at Jagex? I get 3 magic beans a week. I plant them in the garden, and it allows me to get to a giant's castle on a big cloud, and that seems to pay the bills. So there we go. Somebody asking, said, is there an "Are you sure" option with expensive items? I'm assuming you mean to high alkit. I think we had sort of a conversation about that last week with some members of the community, and I think a lot of the people we spoke to felt, although it would be nice, or although it would be, it seems a convenient thing to do, it sort of takes away the sort of more grown up nature of old school, where it's if mistakes happen, you live with the consequences of it. There's not all these sort of things in place to stop you having to pay quite that right bit of attention. So I know a lot of people out their Guthan's spears, don't they, when they're out training? But I think it would be nice, but I think that's about all it would be. There's 36 people left. Where are they all gone? They're all hiding in corners. Please change Thorax to something useful. Now, again, one of the things that we did, I'm trying to think what it was. It was for a poll. It was for God Wars. That's right. A lot of people were concerned the God Wars armor was going to devalue the Barrows armor. So what we suggested was to upgrade all the Barrows armor to make them a little bit better, so they'll still be useful for different things than what they are now. None of that passed, which was a shame, because I thought it would be quite cool. But that's not the end of the story by any means. But we're happy to upgrade it, update it, and make Barrow's armor more useful with us. Again, you bring us some questions, or you bring us some. I've still got all my hit health left, haven't I? So I have that out there. I'm going to do more damage with that, aren't I? Pay a bit of attention to what's going on. Right, let's go get you. Don't attack salad. Salad's good for you. Keeps you healthy. Yeah, it does. Attack RD Horizon. Yeah. Attack him instead, even though he is on your team. But, yeah, let's not worry about that too much. RD Uprising. It's like the Sabres. Back in the day, the Sabres clan always had to have Sabre in their name. There's still plenty of Sabres around. I mean, there's Sabre Chili, for example. He still plays, I think. And Sabre King logged in not too long ago. And he was one of the first people to start up the Sabres. Who else was there? There's several others. There's, I think, LKG Sabre still plays. I think Music Sabre was another one, or Sabre Music. I can't remember which one. Anyway, that's complete aside. Sabres clan's been around for years and years and years and years and years. So if you see somebody with Sabre in the name, that's probably why they have it. How's the war on bots coming along? Well, tomorrow the technology should be ready for testing, and we will be running tests over the next few days, and if it all works, then hopefully we will be able to roll it out in the fullness of everything, and then you should hopefully see a pretty big difference to bots in game, which will be quite fantastic. But as soon as we know everything is working, we will talk to you about what's happening and what's going on, and what we've been up to and what this new technology does as well. So we're going to be quite open with you about it. I know we're very secretive about these sort of things in the past, but we're not going to give out all the details about how it works and stuff, because obviously that would be quite damaging. But we will be open about what we're trying to achieve with it, and that sort of stuff. So it'll be quite cool. Do you think you guys could ever repoll God Wars pets? I think we probably will at some point. There is a demand for not necessarily a summoning skill, but sort of a combat pet type thing, and it would fit quite nicely in with that. I think the only reason that it didn't pass last time was because the way it was being put in made no sense. You know, mini God Wars creatures running around didn't really make a huge amount of sense to anybody. But if we have a combat pet type thing, then we could probably make it make a bit more sense, and we shall take it from there. Train farming in a similar method to RuneSpan. Yeah, I don't think that's going to pass any poll. Nice thinking though. I think as soon as you mention anything that's similar to RuneSpan, I think our community will jump on it with a big hammer and a big no button. Fortunately, RuneSpan does not have the reputation of being an old school type piece of content. Old school animations as an optional cosmetic for RS3. Yeah, no, I'll have a chat with guy whose name I've completely forgotten, see what he thinks. How about when adding the new world, you have two worlds, have a target system? If we were to do that, we would obviously have to poll it first. But I think we could do better than that. I think we could offer something more fun and interesting than just a target system world. But we'll get to that in the fullness of time. Instead of lizard men, could you have one big lizard boss and call him Godzilla? Yes, I think that has definitely got to happen. I think I'm going to cancel every update coming out, and we'll make Godzilla, because Godzilla's cool. We could have Godzuki as well, because he was a cheeky little imp. Do you have a cold? Yes, I'm getting over a cold. It's horrible. Bleh. Bleh, bleh, bleh. In RS3 for Solomon's Store, will there be retro weapons? I know they've done some. I don't know a huge amount about Solomon's Store, how it works, and all that other gubbins. I obviously very focused on Old School. But happily have a chat with the guys. As I say, we've had some people showing interest in some of the Old School animations and weapons and things. I know I've heard they've done some retro stuff in the past. I don't know sort of to what extent, but I'll have a chat with them, and if they think it's a good idea, I'm sure they will do it. Will the Rocktail return? Now, the Rocktail healed 22, didn't it? And if that is the case, then you will find that the new fish in the wilderness, the crab, is going to heal 22 as well. So although it won't be a Rocktail, it will be yoink. Yeah. Oh, check that out. So strong. Take him down. Take him down. Yeah, you did. You did. Can bank boosters be made to work for Old School? What's a bank booster? I don't know what you mean. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, fancy that. That's not on. But he venged me, didn't he? That's what it was. I wasn't paying any attention. I was looking at a different computer. Thinking what questions are they asking? Is coin share coming as an option? Yeah, well, I think it's being worked on. All the engine commands needed are being worked on at the moment. So fingers crossed we could offer that in the not too distant future. I would imagine we'll probably do a package. I mean, it makes sense to me to do, because the way things like clan wars and clans work, they all work off being able to manipulate the clan chat channel stuff. So once we've got the functionality to do that, all the coin share and the loot share and the clan wars can all run off that. So we might do that as a single sort of themed poll, as it were. We offer, I mean, with loot share and coin share, we run into the problem is that not every item has an accurate price. For example, if you were to loot a party hat, you would share 1 GP amongst your where obviously they're worth 100,000 or so. So it has to work off a different system, so some of the results aren't going to be what you want them to be. In which case, for some of the big bosses, you probably don't necessarily want to use coin share, because if you have a God Sword drop, it will sell for whatever the out price is, which is what, 450,000 or so, and you would, I'm sure you'd rather set it on the market and get a few bits of money in, so get a bit better, get some more money for it. But we shall see. We shall see. That's all stuff that we could talk out when we're in a position to talk about it. But there are always going to be 101 problems with pretty much everything that we do. But we are committed to overcoming these problems. And oh, poor chap, he lasted about 3 seconds. And with your guys' help, we can overcome them so that you're happy with how we overcome them. Currently, Barrow's gloves vanish on death whilst PKing. Can this be changed to turn into cash? I believe that is happening. I can't remember the exact details of the poll, but the idea was that if you die past level 20 wilderness, I think it was, any who about making shorter Castle Wars games? It's an option, isn't it? You could do shorter games, but you wouldn't have the reward. I don't know. That's I have to have a chat with the Castle Wars community, see what they think about that. What are we talking about? We talked about something else before that, and I can't remember what it was. It was quite an interesting thing. Ah, yes, yeah, the wilderness and and non-tradable items. I can't remember the exact wording that we used, but the idea was that if you got non-tradable items, you die past level 20 wilderness, they would turn into cash and fall on the floor. They'll probably turn into their alch value, I would expect. And yeah, so that would effectively happen for PKs in the wilderness. So that still allow you the first few levels to do your bit of 1v1s and the more, that's how we put it politely, more welfare types of PvP. But for serious PvP, level 20 plus, it'll get a bit more profitable and a bit more dangerous, which is the entire point of the wilderness, really. Can we get a ranking system in PvP? Well, we are doing the KDR, which is kill death ratios. Hopefully we'll show you that tomorrow in the stream tomorrow. But we've got a lot of stuff to show you in the stream tomorrow, so make sure you tune into the stream at 5 o'clock tomorrow, because we've got a load of wilderness stuff to show you, including the Fountain of Rune, which looks pretty spectacular. Asha's done a great job on that. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Stuff, things, it, them, and nonsense. Yes, ranking system. The problem we have with the ranking system at the moment is we don't have the ability to push information out from the website, or out from the game to the website. We don't have the ability for the website to display it. Unfortunately, to do that, we need obviously the engine time to create the commands to push the information out of the game and to the website, and we then need the website team's time to create a web page for this information to be displayed upon. Stuff that would love to do, absolutely, love loads of high scores and ranking systems, all that sort of stuff would be absolutely amazing. But it's a big ask, but it's something that I hope to be looking at in the not too distant future. See what potential we've got to be able to do that and how we can achieve it. I don't know what the answers are to all that, but it is something that you're not alone in wanting. We would love to be able to do it for you, because we think you would really enjoy that. And basically every piece of content we put in game now, we're capturing all the information we can from it. So even though you might not be able to see it, what we may be able to do in the future, should we get the ability to share this information with you, then we could display everything that we've been capturing. And you guys can have as much information about what you've done in game as possible, and if you can share it with your friends as well, that makes it even more powerful. I mean, I'm sure you would love to know how many times you've killed Bandos, how many of Sarah Hilts you've had drop, or how many people you've killed, how much toggle you've spent, stuff like that. We would love to be able to display it to you, so you can see it, because all that sort of information, very much like Grand Theft Auto, it has stats pages, all the random information, how far you've ran and all that sort of stuff. That'd be awesome to have that sort of stuff for Old School, wouldn't it? People love that sort of stuff. A rest function, yeah, again, we can absolutely do the rest function, that's not a problem. The issue is, does the community want it? I think a lot of the community feel that that you could try and find me if you really want, but it's not going to help you much. Wherever you are, just run away, the wuss will hit you with that instead. It's not a case of us not being able to do it. I don't think the community particularly wants a resting feature, because it makes the agility stuff not nearly as important as it once was. So it's not. I wouldn't. If we were to poll it now, I would expect it to fail actually quite spectacularly. But should you guys all change your minds, suddenly everyone's talking about it, we will change our minds and poll that to you. But we obviously don't want to poll stuff just for watching it fail, because it makes it very difficult to actually do the right thing. And you've got to be aware that how you guys feel today is not how you guys are going to feel in 6 months' time. So even though you might be dead against something now, if we polled it now and it got nowhere near passing, then it makes it very difficult for us to poll something when we think you do want it more. So it's all sort of a bit of a trying to judge how you guys feel and what's important to you, and polling the right stuff at the right times for you guys to get what you want in game. How do you feel about summoning and bringing it back if the players want it? Again, yeah, I think if players want it, we can bring back some of it. We've got we were looking through the archive yesterday, which is beginning of the week, which is where we've got some of the stuff we'll show you tomorrow from. Now, in there we found there was a limited version of summoning, so you could have summoning, but not with all the creatures. It was quite limited on what you could have, and without the graphic artist support, we couldn't add much new to it at all. However, you know, if there was really demand for it, we could put a summoning light version, for want of a better phrase, in there. But again, I don't think that's really what you guys want. There's a lot of opposition to summoning as well. A lot of people didn't feel as if it was quite right, didn't fit with the game. Which is why, you know, we can use the summoning stuff that we have available to us for other things. For example, we do a combat pet thing, which will be quite cool. Shall we cast some magic? That seems like a good idea to me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, run away, run away. That's it, you're going down, boys, going down. Ah dear, right, so where are we? What's the take on botters? We need them gone. Yes, no, I completely agree with you, and hopefully we shall have some more news for you in the not too distant future. For those who don't know, we have some new bot technology which is going in, which is going to be tested from tomorrow, I believe. If it passes its test, we will start rolling it out across different areas of the game, and hopefully you will see a pretty large change to what's going on in game with bots. But of course it might fail the test miserably, in which case we'll have to go and wait for it to be fixed, what have you. So let's wait for the test to be over. As soon as, you know, we know it is working, and we will then talk to you about it a bit more, because that will be quite cool. I used to play way back in 2001, and I was saddened to see the mechanics of the current game. I would totally play OSR if I didn't have to restart again. Unfortunately, I think if we were to port players' accounts over from RS3 to Old School, we would have had to have done that from day one. Because we haven't, we have everybody in the high scores, you know, the 150,000 people in the high scores who have put their work in to get their accounts to where they need to be, or where they are now, and, you know, it would upset every single one of them, I think, to suddenly realise they could port their accounts across. And to run the risk of upsetting every single player that's out there now, for, you know, even if we look at it incredibly generously, for another 50,000 players is not worth it. You know, in pure number state, we would lose 150,000 players and keep 50,000 happy ones, which is why it is unlikely that will ever happen. Would it upset you if I healed now? Bet it would. So yeah. Does Mrs. McKay play RuneScape? Yes, she does. She plays Old School as well. She doesn't go in for this RS3 thing, because she likes to keep it real and stuff in it, governor, and what have you. You're going to introduce a Jagex endorsed way of moving cash from Old School to RS3 and vice versa. If you guys want us to do that, yes, it does. I think it's something we will probably have to poll to do it, but it certainly is something we have thought of. I don't know the possibilities of it. I would imagine there'll be quite some fundamental work will need to happen to make it work, but I think it's certainly something we've spoken about, and we've looked at the sort of possibilities of, you know, would it be good for the communities? What would happen to each of the games should it happen? You know, where's the money going to go? Are we suddenly going to see a large increase of cash suddenly injected into Old School, or vice versa? Are we going to see a load of cash suddenly injected into RS3 from Old School? You know, it's that, and you know, is it happening anyway? Because obviously you are allowed to move the cash around. It's not particularly easy, but you are allowed to move it around, and so we sort of take it from there, really. But when it comes time to talk about that, we will talk about that a bit more, let you know what our thoughts are, and sort of the impacts that we see, and we'll let you guys make a decision on that. Got any jobs going? Yes. The graphics artist job has gone live again. Unfortunately, the guy we were going to bring in, that fell through, which is a bit of a shame, because it would have been wonderful. But these things happen. So we've opened up the job again. It's on our website, which is on jagex.com. So please do, if you are an artist living within the European Union, please do feel free to apply. I think we opened it up 2 days ago. I've got 6 CVs have come through to me already, so beginning to come in. We haven't advertised it yet, so these people have just noticed it, but please do get in touch. And if you have art skills and you can draw pretty pictures and schnizzle, and we will love to read your CVs. Well, that's cool. What's your favourite beer? I want to send some to your office. That's very nice, but probably shouldn't really. Yeah. Is it possible to make a poll on gambling to be more lenient towards it? I don't think that would be a good thing, in all honesty. I think one of the things the community have been very aware of is the sort of the money making mentality that the game sort of certainly had a shift towards after the Grand Exchange came out. And you know, it is there, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of the community are very much like, you know, it used to all be about skills, and then it was all about money and GP, and I don't think a lot of them really enjoyed that. So I wouldn't imagine the community would want gambling in game for that precise reason. It's against the rules as well, which is why we're not going to poll it. But yeah, no, I don't think gambling would be a good thing at all, really. I'm afraid. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, 'cause it's now 10:30. And I was nodding off at 7 o'clock this evening, so I probably ought to go and get some sleep. Tomorrow there is a game update. As you probably know, Friday is Valentine's Day, so I expect to see lots of Valentine's cards and red roses for John C. Delivers to the office on Friday, because there should be. And stream tomorrow at 5 o'clock, so please do come to that stream. We will be showing some of the new Wilderness stuff off, so that's going to be really quite exciting. If you can't get to stream tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you'll be able to watch it on the past broadcast. If you click on the RuneScape channel, you'll see a past broadcast button you can click on. It will be in there, so have a look at that. What else we got going on? Yeah, that's about it, really. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Good night.